And we are live.
Oh, there you go. Hello, everybody. And I almost want to say, Maligayang Pasko. I feel Christmas like around the world right now.
Maligayan Pasko, everybody. Good morning, all the way from Dubai.
Thank you, Paolo, for joining us. And I'm Luella Capolona from Chicago, president of PhilPro. And I'm happy to be joined by our TFC anchors here around the world. You know, there is nothing like Christmas in the Philippines, right?
Oh, yes,
There's
definitely.
cheerful carols and emo Pasko songs are heard all over the radio and in the mall starting September 1st. At night, the streets they're flooded with color from bright dancing holiday decors from every building, lampposts, homes. We all know this is the time to be with family and loved ones. A time to celebrate another year of togetherness despite hardships and challenge. The holidays bring so much joy for us Pinoys that we want to celebrate it for over almost like a third of an entire year. But what if you are away from the homeland, like most of us that are on this panel today, right? How is Pasko for you in your part of the world? That's what we hope to tackle, Pao. Um, and I'd like to, at this point in time, quickly bring in our panelists for today. I'm so happy. About one thing I thought about just before we
Mhm.
jumped into this conversation is I took on moderating this panel, and then I realized, wow, we are actually interviewing heavyweights. These are like newscasters and DJs and hosts and
These
actors
are
and
real
comedians.
personalities that we have over here.
Absolutely. And so I'm just gonna try to dial it down and say, okay, you know, let's throw away that, not throw away, but right now let's put that aside and talk to the real people that are behind those personalities because that's what I want to find out today. How about that, Pao?
Exactly. We're all here to get to know each other. And at the end of the day, it's holiday season. The formalities are pretty much gone at this point. We're just here to get to know each other, have a little fun, converse, maybe talk about some Philippinisms, some traditions, and do a few rapid fire rounds. And of course, get to know all these amazing personalities and you guys in the audience as well for today.
Right. Paolo, I'd like to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself before we introduce the rest of the host. So go ahead, Pao. Just formally
Okay, good.
where you're at and what do you do, where you live right now, where are you originally from the Philippines, and I'll
Okay,
want to ask you this question too. If you were part of the Noche Buena, what would you be?
okay, cool. What is up, everybody? My name is Paolo Benitez. I'm representing the UAE over here, up from the mountains, in a 2 hour, a town 2 hours away from Dubai. My mom is from Bulacan. My dad's from Pampanga. And if I was something at the Noche Buena, what would I be? Does it have to be food or something else?
I think it has to be food.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna go with the safe option and say that I'm always gonna be the lumpia because it isn't a party without me.
Awesome. And you got to be in every party, right?
Definitely,
You're the star of every party.
exactly.
Cool. Well, I want to quickly answer that as well. So my name is Luella Rose Cabalona, currently the president of PhilPro, but I have two other jobs here as well. I work as an IT professional at Blue Cross Blue Shield here in Chicago, and I'm also the lead singer of Filipino folk fusion band Sama Sama Project. Like I said, I'm currently in Chicago, but I came from Pasig City in the Philippines, born and raised, and I actually just moved here for work close to 20 years ago. And hopefully that's not dating me. If I were part of the Noche Buena, I'd say I'd be bibingka. Bibingka with the itlog na maalat. I'm a sucker for desserts, and it's always like the sweet ending of Noche Buena when everybody's also like opening their gifts after midnight. It's when they're enjoying their desserts, even fruit salad, that they get to really talk with family and hang out, and that is like
Awesome.
the
She
best
really
part
hit it with
of
the
Noche
salted
Buena.
egg, guys. I'm missing home.
Right. Okay. Well, let's bring on to the
Let's bring
stage.
in our
I'm
amazing
gonna let
panelists for
him
today.
introduce himself. but he's a very well-known personality, sportscaster. I don't want to say too much. Mr. TJ Manoto. TJ, I think you might be muted.
I think he turned off his cam there. As with every live stream, there's
And I
always
just
going
heard
to be
him
some tech difficulties. You know what?
Here. There you go. Can you hear me now?
Yay! Okay, you are on.
Microphone. Here I was teaching Asia how to use her microphone earlier. Now my microphone died on me.
I know, I heard you earlier. No worries.
Anyway, thank you for the shortest introduction ever. Sometimes I feel awkward when some people introduce everything I've done, and I feel so old. But yeah, so hi everybody, to everybody in the audience. My name is TJ Manotok. I've been with ABS-CBN for 17 years now, since 2004. But I've been in the broadcast TV industry for 21 years. Pretty much I've done everything. I've been a sportscaster, TV host, news anchor. I've been what they used to call a palenque king, whatever that is. But I've been around the block pretty much on the TV industry world. And now I'm here in San Francisco. I'm the North American News Bureau Chief for ABS-CBN. And tonight I'm here to represent TFC and to join all of you as we talk about Pasko and how we all celebrate Christmas from wherever we are in the world. So thanks for having me.
Thanks, TJ. But I do want to ask the question: if you were part of the Noche Buena, what would you be?
I would be Puto Bongbong.
There you go. There you go. Purple, like my hair.
Purple. It's just sticky and cute. How I am with my friends. Sweet as well. But you know, it's kind of tough to fork it out and chew. But it's all fun. Puto Bongbong.
And it's perfect with like coconut, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of butter.
By the way, I just saw a segment on TV Patrol last night how there are people who are now doing puto bongbong fusions. They're tossing in all these different things: condensed milk, leche flan, whatever else. I mean, it's basically rice, right? So they're putting all these kind of sweet and savory toppings they want. Go for it. Have puto bongbong your way.
Yum. It comes in all like different interesting flavors. That's what TJ Manotok is.
There you go.
All right, and then let's we also have Isabel Canaan, a Filipina-Canadian from Toronto, Filipino-Canadian actor, comedian, and writer best known for CBC's Air Farce, the lead in award-winning series Haunted or Hoax, and TFC's BRGY, our global barangay. Let's welcome Isabel Canaan.
Hi! I just want to make sure, can everybody hear me? Great! Hi, everyone. I'm Isabel Canaan from Toronto, Canada, representing. I've been here for, 13 years now. I was born and raised in San Juan, Metro Manila. Representing that as well. And yeah, I'm an actor, comedian, writer here. I've been on shows for Nickelodeon, NBC, Hallmark, CBC. So I've been around, and it's fun. And you might know me for TFC's BRGY, our global barangay. So I'm glad to be here. Oh my gosh. Oh, wait, I want to answer this question. The Noche Buena. Okay. If I was a food in Noche Buena, I would be the fruit salad, because I feel like fruit salads are very deceiving. People think, oh yeah, I'm going to have the fruit salad because I'm on a diet and I want to be healthy. You know, it has the word salad, so it's probably healthy, and it's got fruit, so it's probably healthy. That's what people think when they look at me. They're like, oh yeah, Isabel. Yeah, she's so quiet. She's so nice. And I'm like, ha, me? So I can be very deceiving too. So that's why I vibe with fruit salad a lot.
I love it. I love it. Paolo, you want to introduce Marlino, our next guest?
Okay, well, Marlino's pretty much here already on the screen, so why don't we just bring him up? and then introduce him. Everybody, this is Marlino Bitanga. You know him for mix, and you also know him for heavy rotation. Marlino, I'm gonna leave the rest of the talking to you. Take it away.
I honestly don't know what else to say. Like we're bewildered a little bit on what we just came from a different session, but to kind of answer even like what Isabel said, to be honest, I don't think I've ever had a Noche Buena. Like
Ooh,
it was never
is
necessarily
he still trying
celebrated
to connect
in
there?
our house, So I mean, if I had to choose,
Let's move over to our next guest then, and then we'll just like loop Marlino in a little bit.
oh,
Go
it's
ahead,
not
Pao.
connecting.
Okay, and
I
moving
can
on
hear
to.
you.
Are you connected? We good?
I heard Marlena quite
I
well.
heard him.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
Oh,
loud and clear.
Also, it
I
hung on you, Luella.
okay.
I can
and
hear
for
you.
Paolo, it looks like okay, we're not able to hear him at all.
How
We
about
heard
that?
him.
All right, let's try again. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear loud and clear. Go for it.
All right. So I think for me, again, I'm gonna guess here, but I don't really know what's at a Noche Buena, but I'm gonna say I would either be the polvoron or the arroscaldo at the table.
I like that. You've got sweets and salty
Yes.
or
You can put the polvoron
savory,
inside
I
the
should say. Oh my
arroscaldo.
god,
It's the
I
same
love
thing. So
What?
Wow.
Arroscaldo. Oh my god, that's home, and I'm missing that so much.
One
Thank you for
inside.
What?
reminding
And you
us.
can put. Wow, I did not know
Sorry about
that.
that. Yeah. Go for it,
I've
man.
never done it, so don't count on my recommendation, but it was just a thought, merging the two together.
I think it's some sort of champurrado because champurrado is sweet and dry. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it's going to taste like Quaker oats in the morning.
With bits of
That's
ginger, which usually spit.
I don't know what it's gonna taste like, but it's definitely gonna wake you up.
And you think it's not chicken, and you're like, "That's not chicken. That's ginger."
Oh my goodness.
Okay,
Oh my
and then
gosh.
moving on to our next guest. She speaks for herself, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from New Zealand. We have Miss Asia over here. Take it away.
Hi everybody, I'm Asia Akawili, and I did a lot of things in the Philippines. I was some FHM columnist, and I was hosting Big Brother and breakfast show, and doing a lot of TV shows, drama, comedy. So I was all around. So I was quite proud to say, I did everything in show business. I was Kalad Karen in the sense of work. Okay. Well, speaking of Kalad Karen, well, if I was a sort of food in Noche Buena, I will be kuchinta, because kuchinta is the asawa of puto. So puto and kuchinta. It's sweet. It's filled with coconuts, which is, everybody knows I love nuts. So, but it's not really a nut. It's just a white cocoa with a nut. I don't know, something. There we go. And where am I from? The Philippines.
That's
Well,
fun.
I'm originally from the Isabela, and we moved around a lot. So we went to Manila, and I'm from Quezon City, one of the most ruckus area over there. So yeah, there we go. And now I'm in New Zealand for 10 years in Auckland.
Thank
Ta-da!
yes. Thank you, Aisha. And you know what? This is what's fun is because like we just want this discussion to be just like casual red table talk. We just want to get to know everybody. So I'm gonna go straight into we all are away from the Philippines, and in my experience, like when I first came to the U.S., I wanted to know why every Filipino I met there was there. Like, how did you get to Chicago? Like, what brought you here? Was it your family? All of that. And I kind of wanted to know that also from you. But I'll start with you, Aisha. You were already beginning to say you're in Auckland, right?
Auckland, New Zealand. Yes,
My best
Auckland, New
to try to
Zealand.
pronounce
So at the
Auckland, New
time,
Zealand. So what
I
brought
was
you there?
yeah. So in the Philippines, I was working a lot. So I left the a colleague of my boyfriend then said, "Oh, you should go out of the Philippines." Da, 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 da. And at that time, I was really on the peak of my career. and he convinced me, yeah, you should go, you should try it out, da 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 da. And so I did, and my husband was my boyfriend then, my husband now, still. Woo! But well, yes. Okay, so and so we said, okay, yay, we should go. So we went to Amsterdam. So I lived in Amsterdam for a good 3 years, and there we had a child, we started a family, and we got married there. And then we went to Auckland after a few years, after 3 years, and in 3 months' time, we found ourselves in a place where it's the middle ground of Europe and Asia, because everybody here is just, especially in Auckland, everyone from Auckland, or as far as I know, is not from Auckland. So it's a very multicultural place. So and we fell in love with it. Oh, love.
Oh. So it was because of love. It was because of love that brought you to
Yes.
New
So
Zealand. Right.
there you go.
How about TJ or Marlino? I know you both are in the Bay Area. I'm gonna take a guess that TJ obviously has a really successful career in the Philippines, so he also had to make a move in his adult years. So what brought you to San Francisco?
Okay, so for me, it was work primarily. ABS-CBN offered me to move out here to handle the North American News Bureau in 2018. But that was also a big decision because of family. Because one, I was able to bring my family, and two, I already had family here. My stepson was already here. My mother-in-law was already here in the Bay Area. So was my dad and my youngest half brother, who were here like 6 or 7 months in a year. So it was a bit of a very easy decision to take the leap and to move out here, because it's not like I'm moving into the middle of like Kansas City, Missouri, where I don't know anybody and there are probably no Filipinos. But that's what being in the Bay Area is like. So yeah, that was the opportunity, and we're like, hey, let's try the adventure, try something different, taking on a challenge that's more than just the on-cam work, but behind the scenes as well. And it's been an awesome ride so far the last 3 years.
Well, we're happy you're here with us. and you, Marlino?
Well, for me, I grew up in San Francisco. I actually live in San Diego right now. And so, my experience is slightly different. I've been to the Philippines maybe 3 times in my life, twice as a kid. And then the third time was about 14 years ago now. So 2007 was the last time I was there. So I was hoping to go back, when I came on to ABS and working with Mix. But of course, the pandemic had different plans, and I definitely could not go back. But a lot of the stuff that I do wish I was able to see when I was out there is, what Christmas looks like, during the burn months and things like that. So that's kind of the things I guess I've kind of missed out on compared to a lot of everyone else that's been here. I don't know what that's like. So I've been so sheltered in California and just, trying to experience and figure out, discover what Filipino-ness looks like here.
I can totally relate, by the way. I haven't been to the
So when was
Philippines very much
just
in my
curious,
life.
what last
Say that again, Lou.
So when was the last time you were back home in the Philippines?
2007 was the last time.
Wow.
Yeah, and then we didn't even stay in Manila. We stayed in our town. So my mom is from San Carlos, Pangasinan, and so we stayed there pretty much the whole 2 weeks that I was there. And so yeah, we didn't really experience city life. We was more in the provinces, but I think for me that was just an experience of its own. And then taking public transportation, riding the tricycles, riding jeepneys, venturing with my cousins. We went to Baguio by ourselves, so, and I think one of the things I did experience when I was there is just, again, the love of the people in the Philippines. They're just very polite, caring, food just amazing, so that's what I pretty much remember. I definitely want to go back. That's like on my wish list, is to go back.
Right, definitely. As soon as this pandemic is over, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's coming back home. All right, Isabel.
Yeah, my story, my family moved here mainly because so I have three brothers and two of them are actually on the spectrum. And so in the Philippines, there weren't a lot of help and programs for them. So my dad really did the research on all the countries of like which one had the best help for them financially, the government wise, like the programs that they have, and even work wise, what they can do. And Canada was apparently the best or one of the best. And so we tried, we got in, and it's been amazing. It's great. They've been working, which, you know, as a kid, I didn't know if that was possible. But this, luckily, coming here and having this much help from the government and the programs here has been amazing for them. And it's pretty cool too, because like on the side, like they'll be my PA. For like when I'm on set, I'll like give them jobs to do too. So that's pretty cool. So we kind of like work as a family a little bit. So that's fun.
So
Only you're
this
the
is
boss.
like, wow, this is actually
Don't tell them
a
that. though.
unique reason, right? It's a unique reason. It's like medical needs and security. That's cool. Do you still remember when you moved? How did that make you feel? Just curious.
Oh my gosh. So I was in fourth year high school when we got the news, and we just started fourth year high school. And they were like, hey, you have to be here in a month. So we were all like, wait, what? What? We'd have to pack our whole lives in 1 month. I had to say goodbye to my friends. I had to pack. We had to, say goodbye to family. I had a partner at the time. So I was like, should we break up or long distance? I don't know. It was such a like hectic time. But we decided as a family, okay, we'll go, let's do it. And we got here and we did it. I don't know how, but we did it in a month. Yes, we left a bunch of things, but we went over and then brought them back slowly but surely. So that was the main thing. But it was cool because when I got here, I was in grade 12, which is the last year of high school here. And because at that time, I think in the Philippines, we started at June or July, and then here it starts in September, and we moved in August. So it was like, yeah, perfect timing. So it's like no time was lost. So
You didn't have summer. So
Yes. No, yeah, for a high school student, that's time lost.
Oh yeah. And if anyone's wondering, we tried long distance for a month and it did not work.
Didn't work. I know.
high
Right,
school
this time you had to
doesn't
choose
last.
family.
Yeah, this is one of the biggest reality checks right here. LDR, not so sure.
Mhm. Not for me, at least. It works for other people, but I need that physical
It's
touch.
hard. It's hard. It's definitely really hard. Yeah.
Yes, it's hard. It's very hard.
But it's interesting to note though that like in DJ's case, like all his family is already here. That's why he ended up going to the States. And then in Isabel's Isabel's situation, they made a conscious decision to bring the entire family. So it's like it's always for Filipinos, it sounds like love, family, those are the biggest factors that get us to move, right? Get us to move to a different place. And that's really cool. Cool. Okay. Well, Pao, I always ask you, I've known you for months now, but I never really asked, like, what brought you to Dubai? Hey, I also want to ask you that question.
Okay, so
I keep on saying Dubai.
yeah. So I've already been in Dubai for 24 years. I've been here all my life, born and raised here, me and my entire generation of family. How did we get here in the first place? Well, it all started before the 90s. My grandfather was part of that wave of Filipino workers that ended up working in the Middle East. My grandfather was in the oil industry. And then in the 90s, my mother came along and my dad already happened to be working here. They got together, they got married, and then I'm here right now. It's been ages actually since I went back to the Philippines also. I could totally relate to what Marlino could say over there, in that he hasn't been so much in his life. or he hasn't gone back in a long time. I haven't been to the Philippines in a decade, actually. A lot of us are still also making the conscious decision to stay here and carve out our own path. We are Illustrado magazine. We've been empowering Filipinos in the Middle East since 2006. And even though the pandemic is around, we're still here, we're still doing our thing, and we're constantly working on new ways to keep empowering our local community.
Thanks, Pao, for sharing that. Wow. It's generations of your family in the Middle East. That's super interesting to note. And yet you're still very Filipino.
Definitely.
Love that. Love that. Okay, well, I want to for some of the folks that chose to move, right? That made the place where they're living in now their new home, right? I just wanted to know, like, when you came, how was it for you? Was it like culture shock, or was it just like the Philippines? What were the new things that you didn't new things you learned, like things that you didn't expect when you moved to where you are now? You want?
I can start. I mean, I can do it from a reverse perspective. So going back to the Philippines, like I remember I was just asking my cousins, just the way I was dressed. I was like, "Do you think people can tell I'm an American?" And then they would tell me, "Yeah." And I'm like, "How?" And they're like, "Your scent. They can tell that you're foreign because it's either the cologne you wear or the detergent that you wear. That just that one little thing, they can already figure out that you're not a native of the Philippines." And so I thought that was pretty unique. And then because when I came there, like I was trying, I don't want to say I was trying too hard not to be American, but I really dressed more down than I would normally do. I was just like a sando and then like shorts and kicks or whatnot. But even that, the type of shoes they were telling me, like the type of shoes you have already throws you off that you're not from here. So again, I think it was just learning these little nuances of the things that I would do that I would never really, think could really translate into a way that they can identify me as someone who's not native born was pretty interesting. So
Yeah, for sure. I grew up in the Philippines, but it's so funny that when I visit, sometimes they would say, you smell like balikbayan box. Can you believe that? Like, how does a balikbayan box smell?
How's
All
that?
right, for Asia, how about you? Like anything that surprised? I know you came there and you loved it immediately, but when you decided to move, was there anything
Oh
that kind
yeah.
of like
Oh, that when I
threw you off?
decided to move, that was, that was a real culture shock. And it was, that's the thing with people who are in the Philippines or willing to move. It's a free fall. I would say it's a real free fall, when you do that. So you're very vulnerable and you will lose a lot of who you are. And then we will knock on those strengths that you have, and you have to begin again. There will be lots and lots of, crying games. There will be lots and lots of pity parties and reminiscing. But once you've dust yourself off, you'll be like, all right, I'm tired crying. I'm tired trying to reminisce this and that. So let's try to begin again. So if when you get into that chapter, you tend to be like a child because you see all the beautiful things that are there that you are discovering, and you're forming new friendships, and every now and then you kind of compare, but then you shouldn't, so it's like a rebirth in a way. So it's one of those things that you can kind of evolve and grow as a person, and you tend to have a very, very insightful perspective on people dynamics, on psychology, on relationships, and on politics. So it's a very beautiful gift if you get to analyze it or realize it that way. Do you know what I mean? It's So am I too philosophical about that? But yeah, so that's what happened. And
Yeah, no,
oh my God.
it struck
Okay,
me.
so this is the shallow bit. Okay, I totally totally lost my fashion paradigm. I didn't know that you can't use slippers in the winter. And so,
Or that your
those
hair
kind of
will
things.
freeze if you go out with wet hair.
Yes,
That's happened
that's
to me.
right. Oh, and when you go to the toilet in public places and you wash your hands and there's no heater and man, that's cold. You know, those kind of things. So yeah, those are the beautiful gaps of relocating to a place where there are 4 seasons. So
Right. About you, TJ? Were you familiar already with what you
It's
were getting
funny.
into when you moved over?
That's exactly what I had in mind after Marlena mentioned the clothing, what he used to wear in the Philippines. I struggled with even thinking of what to wear. I just ended up going default, just putting on the same sweater, the same jacket, and the same, thick pair of Uniqlo pants that I have. And it's like you could guess if you see me walking into the office without my head and it's just the clothes, you'll know that it's me because I just keep repeating what I wear. Because the colder weather kind of hindered me from being imaginative with my wardrobe. Back in the Philippines, I used to put on a short sleeve polo or a t-shirt and shorts, and then sometimes long sleeve and whatnot, khaki pants or skinny jeans, or you could play around with it. But yeah, that's one thing that I have to get used to. I have to challenge myself to learn how to dress up differently amidst the colder weather. Maybe it's layering. I don't know. I
I think it takes a few years.
it takes
Yes.
It takes a few winters.
I'm just so comfortable in my thing. So I don't know. I'm becoming a creature of habit with that. But yeah, that's one of the little adjustments here. But I mean, I'm so blessed to be in the Bay Area that there's so much here that makes you feel at home. Where I first lived right away, I was just a few minutes from a Filipino grocery. I was a few minutes away from a Filipino carinderia. So missing the home cooked food, missing the food and the snacks we used to buy. I still get my green chippy over here, by the way. If
Wait,
you have
what's a green chippy? What is a
if you have
green
ever
chippy?
tried green chippy, you are missing half of your life.
Okay, I'm
So
googling it right now.
in Filipino grocery, say goodbye to the red chippy, say goodbye to the blue chippy, say hello to the green chippy. It is salt and vinegar chippy. It is a gift in heaven. So yeah.
Yes,
That's a new innovation I missed.
Amen. Amen on that green
One of the
chippy.
best things I can describe it is that it's not nakakaumay. You know how some snacks and some chips, like after the first 5 handfuls, you're like, I can't believe I just had that. You kind of
Yeah.
get sick of that flavor. This one has a kind of magic that it's just right. Describe it, but green chippy for the win. So whenever I
Okay,
get that and
you got me.
I hoard a bunch of bags at home, and I end up arguing with my kids and my nephew when the green chippy is gone. I'm like, who stole my green chippy? Especially when I'm saving it for my Saturday cheat days, like when I'm watching sports and I want my green chippy and my Coke Zero and it's not there. Then
So, all right. Tomorrow, first thing in the morning, I'm going to the Filipino store here nearby me.
Same.
Green
I'm looking at
chippy.
it. It looks like Fritos with salt and vinegar is kind of what it looks like, right? Like
It
Fritos,
is
like
salt and
Frito-Lays.
vinegar, yeah.
Yes, the shape
Ooh.
of Fritos, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Yeah.
It's legit. It's totally legit.
oh, and the best match of it all, it's not just Coke Zero, another unicorn it's hard to find, is cherry Coke Zero. So
Is that only
You
the
like that?
Philippines?
He knows.
the zero version of the cherry Coke per se tastes like, I don't know, some kind of coffee.
Robitussin.
Yes.
Yeah.
But which I've
Got
never
it.
drank. I'm not 6, I can't say. But cherry Coke Zero is the bomb. So that
But see, speaking of, my husband swears that the Coke in the Philippines tastes so much better than Coke here.
It does.
I don't know why.
It's the sugar.
They make a big deal about Mexican Coke here, right? Too, right, Marlino? Like when you
Yep.
see the bottled Mexican Coke, like, ooh, that's a good one. So,
Because I think the big difference is I think in the States we use high fructose corn syrup
okay, and then
versus
cane sugar.
versus like Mexico and the Philippines they use natural cane sugar. So that's the big
Sugar
difference.
cane, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love
yeah.
sugar cane, man.
Oh, one thing that I've been able to learn to really get accustomed to, which I feel more social, is that I now drink sparkling water. I never I could not take sparkling water. The first time I tried it, I was probably like that scene in Ted Lasso where he drank it and he spit it out. Like we're just
Yes.
drinking water. What's up with that? So yeah.
Yes.
It's so funny. This definitely is a very Filipino group. Always reverting back to food, which is
Yes.
weird.
All for my life. How do you pronounce it, Marlino? Lacroix, Lacroix, what?
Oh, you know, even I think it's LaCroix or LaCroix. Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever. All the flavors are fine with me. So.
But not to plug them, but you have to try Sanzo. Sanzo is a Filipino-owned sparkling water from New York, but they are now all over the Panda Express stores in the U.S., like 900 of them. So just
Sando, yeah.
Yeah. Say it again.
Well, yeah,
Do they have
yeah.
flavored sparkling water?
Yeah, no, their flavors they have calamansi, they have pretty much like Filipino fruit flavors is what's unique about them.
Wow.
So,
Yes, awesome.
Sparkling water.
All right,
yes.
those are my grocery list for Filipino stores.
Yes.
Tomorrow. But hey, I'd say speaking of, so everybody's very Filipino here, wherever you are in the world. I want to find out right now. Look around you, right? What's very Pinoy? Something very Pinoy that you have at home.
Dang.
Okay, I'll start because I mean, come on, this is pretty straightforward. When I first got here, people also left their shoes at the front door because of the snow, but they would walk around in their socks, and I was like, what? So I started bringing slippers with me everywhere. Yeah, so that's one thing for me.
I got one. I'll be back.
Oh, he's really gonna show his props.
Oh my gosh. Okay, while this is happening, I want to share when I went back to the Philippines the last time, I asked, so I went to Jollibee and I wanted a combo, but I didn't want Coke. I wanted water. So I was like, yeah, but can I have that with water? And they were like, no, it comes with Coke or Sprite. And I was like, no, can I have it with water? And they're like, so they had to call the manager because I was like, I just want water. And then, so what ended up happening was I got the Coke, but I had water on the side. Like I had to order extra. And I was like, okay, if this is how it goes. But it's just like, that's how inherent Coke is to our culture.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's I just I seldom drink Coke. I don't know, I don't like bubbly drinks because it makes my stomach weird, and I'm very, very sensitive, and they love Coke here, but I do love sugar. I love sugar. I love sugar. I used to, when I was younger, I used to munch on those sugar cane, the real ones. And
Oh yeah.
I used to munch on that. I grew up on that.
Isn't that
That's
what it's
probably
called?
my bone. It's like, so that's why whenever and yeah, sugar is really my home. So yeah, I'm addicted to sugar.
I think that
Love
comes
it.
with having Filipino blood too. Like everything is sweet, right? That's why our spaghetti is sweet. That's why everything we eat is
Yes,
sweet.
that's
And
right. And I
everybody's
get
choice
high
of
on
food here
sugar.
today is the dessert too.
Yes, that's, oh my God. Sometimes, when I remember my student life, I would just always skip food, any type of food, and I just straight to dessert, like pulveron on chocolate. And that was my lunch, my dinner, or my my breakfast or something like that. It's just that's just how I was. And Hershey's bar with fried chicken. There you go. You dip it. That's so
You
student
guys are
life,
making
man.
me hungry right now. Marlene, you're back. Do
I'm
you
back.
have your Filipino item with you?
Yeah, so my Philippine, I mean, like, we're not. Well, I guess I didn't. I wanted to be traditional and do, have the traditional stuff. So I don't have it with me, but one of the things I have was a toy jeepney, but I put Dub model wheels on it so to make it look more modern. But I don't have the big spoon, fork, the big utensils. Even though Filipinos were giants back then, now we're short. So I didn't have any of those. But this is like the pride that I love always showcasing. I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is a hoodie by Pinoy Apparel from back in the
Nice.
day, but this is their Revolt hoodie. So I wear this with pride everywhere. Like anything that's like a Filipino function, this is like my go-to hoodie. And this is like one of the original ones. So this came out back in like 2000. I don't want to say like 8 or 6 or something like that. Right. So again, it's kind of non-traditional. It's a little bit more modern. And then
Does it cause a stir because it's the red side up? That's why it's called Revolt.
I know that's why it's called Revolt. That's exactly right. So the cool thing about this company is they do fashion, but from a whatchamacallit, a perspective that still teaches about Filipino history and culture. So it's very intentional, but it's very you don't really think about it. It's like subconscious is kind of the word. And like even this right now, like what I'm wearing here, this is a Barong Tagalog.
Nice.
Except it's
Wow.
shaped as like a Henley almost, So
Ooh.
those are it's like being Filipino or having like Pinoy stuff, but not so traditional is kind of the I guess what we have.
Right. Love collecting that. You were just saying I had to grab this on the way. Like we have
Oh,
this
see, yeah.
Filipino jeepney here. My husband collects some of these toys. And then, of course, with us being musicians, we've got the kulintang, we've got the bakans here at home, we've got,
wow.
although we don't play this as much anymore as we really should, but yeah, the octavinas, I love just having them here around us. How about you, Paolo? Isabel? Oh, you did it. You showed your chinelas. You beat me to it. I was going to show chinelas too earlier.
Yeah, Isabel beat me to it as well. So I had to turn off my camera and run to the living room. I brought with me this rain stick all the way from the Philippines because we miss all that rain over here from the desert. So I'm just gonna let it rip. It's super dusty as well. I haven't cleaned it in a while, but yeah, there we go.
I thought you were gonna pull out the walis.
Wow.
Oh no, we don't have that. They don't sell that in our town yet. We're away from Dubai. In Dubai, you're gonna have some dealers that give you that walis and they give it to you, in bulk and everything. But yeah, we don't have a walis here yet. So we brought our rain stick instead. The rain sticks from the Philippines, and the reason being is that it barely rains over here. It only rains around the spring, and even if it rains, it's still not like that crazy Filipino rain. It's gentle rain. It's nice. You get to see the desert getting green and all. But yeah, I still miss rain from the Philippines. And you know what? It goes up to highs of like 50 degrees centigrade over here. You're really going to burn. So anything to do with water, anything to do with rain is good.
Rain stick, I love that. It looks like a heavy duty walis, actually. From up close, I thought it was
You
walis.
can work out while rain sticking. You make walis with the rain stick.
Oh yeah.
It's a workout.
TJ, did you bring anything very Filipino
Yeah.
with you when you came?
You told me just look around, so I was looking around and I just saw this on my desk. I'm like, oh, look at that.
That is something very
I will give a prize to whoever can guess what's inside this.
Well, even before that, I think you can show how Pinoy you are if you know the SM store theme song.
Yes.
Which one? Because they changed
go.
it
Got
recently.
it all for you. I know the last.
There you
line.
go. See,
Yeah, but they changed it. When I
Yes.
went back, it's different. And I was like, what is this? It's a new song.
No.
So
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's gonna guess what's inside this bag, which came from my tito just a couple days ago.
Pulveron.
No,
well.
I'm gonna
That's
say,
where we get all our
I hope it's
pasalubos now,
not a
yes.
barrel man, right?
no, it's not. Okay,
Okay.
it's something that I desperately need here that I can't find here because I'm loyal to this brand. It's my makeup.
What's that? What makeup is it?
Dude, it's Fanny Serrano.
Oh wow.
Oh, it's funny.
Locally made. Look at that.
Fanny Serrano. Story behind this is that when I was hosting a morning show in 2002, I was the guy who was outside doing the live hits from the outside, and we were in his salon. And for those of you who don't know who Fanny Serrano is, he's like a famous makeup
Yes.
artist back in the Philippines. And in that year, he was launching his own makeup line. So that was the reason why we were guesting him on the show. And he was like, "This is my new line. This is my foundation. This is my concealer stick, da da da. And then during the commercial break, he was like toying around with this concealer stick, and he goes, "Look, this is the concealer stick that I think will match you. It's like chestnut." He starts putting it on my wrist. He goes, "Oh my god, it's a perfect match. It's yours." And then ever since
He's
then,
sweet.
it's just
Tito Fanny is very, very sweet.
Yes,
ever
he's
since
such
then,
an
it's
amazing man.
it's blended so well. So here it is. It's just like a little blob of a lipstick, and I just dab it over and I just spread it, and I'm done in 5 minutes. This is the life of a morning show host when you don't have your own makeup artist. You have to put your own stuff on your own face.
Yes, that's right.
You won't find anything like this here. So whenever somebody comes from the Philippines, I have two things I want them to bring for me. My Baguio Benguet Cordillera Beans coffee and my Fanny Serrano makeup.
That that is true. It's like there's certain things in your household, makeup being one of them as well. Sometimes it's like the hair products that it's just different there, like I want my Vitores from the Philippines. That's like my hair thing. Super
That's
cool,
that.
super cool. Well, so I wanted to kind of also just play a little bit of Rose Eclairnell's video. Like she's our TFC correspondent, like from London. She sent in a video too. And I'm gonna try to see if I can actually do that here. Of what item she's got in the Philippines, and hopefully this works out. Let's see.
What is something very Filipino I have at home? Recently, I made an effort to have artwork.
Lou, go ahead and share your screen.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, we can hear her, but we
Is that
can't see
working?
her.
No, not yet.
To use it or for it.
Yeah,
Is that Rose? No.
See, first I'm trying this. Let's see.
Ladies and gentlemen, as with every live stream, there will always be technical difficulties.
Yes.
And I was saying in the backstage earlier, it's not always about how high tech you are. Sometimes it's all about faking how high tech you are.
Oh, there she is,
There she is.
Miss
Okay.
Rose.
Something very Filipino I have at home. Recently, I made an effort to have artworks, Filipino artworks, or artworks done by Filipino artists to use it or for it to be around the house, so that my daughter will know our tradition. She will be exposed more to Filipino artists. I'm aiming to have parol during Christmas. It's hard to transport it to the UK, but hopefully by next year I'll have it.
Oh, there you go. See, speaking of, let's I kind of wanted to go into Christmas, right? And how it is for us in over abroad, Christmas abroad outside of the Philippines. I wanted to, but before we did that, there's a lot of like traditions. There's a lot of traditions that we all know as Filipinos. So let's segue into some of the Filipino traditions that we are still doing, right? Not Christmas necessarily, but I wanted this to be a little bit of a quick game for us, and just give a thumbs up if this is a tradition you still practice. And Paolo and I are gonna just ask you a few questions here. I'm gonna start off, right? Just give a thumbs up if you're doing, like, for our speakers,
This is gonna be
a
this is gonna be a
physical thumbs up
rapid
right by
fire.
your faces. All right.
Yep.
Do you
Rapid
still
fire.
leave your shoes by the door? No, Pa.
Okay. Yeah, our outdoor shoes we do, but we take our slippers wherever we go. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Next question. You wanna ask this, Bob?
Okay. Do you have a Last Supper image in the kitchen?
Oh gosh, okay. Looks like it's just me.
Okay, it's just Luella. Okay. Next question. Do you own
Do you own the biggest wooden spoon and forks ever? Oh my gosh, okay. And I do. Okay, sorry. Sobrang Pinoy.
Next question. Do you still mano your elders?
Depends. Do you want the back slap or not really?
I was gonna say, like, some of them like it, some of them don't.
So this actually happened in Dubai. A priest came to my brother and he put his hand forward, and my brother fist bumped the priest instead, and everybody started.
was okay, that's funny. Was the priest Filipino?
It was a Filipino event, so my brother looked out of place for a while. Yeah.
Do you still visit your family that has passed on every Semana Santa? I hope I'm saying that right. All Souls Day.
Mainly because they're in the Philippines.
Yeah,
so I
that's it.
can't.
That's it.
Yeah.
Or maybe the question should be, do you light a candle every November 1st?
Somehow find a way.
Yep.
Mm.
I see.
That's
Okay.
fire hazard.
Okay.
Yeah, we get a
Do you-
fine. We're in a condo.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, some restrictions are not allowing you to do that. Do you visit Jollibee wherever you're visiting? I end up going.
When I went to New York, because I'm in Auckland, right? I'm in Auckland. There's no Jollibee here. I wish there was. But when I went to New York and I had an opportunity to go watch the NBA or go to Jollibee, what did I do? I went to Jollibee. I went to Jollibee. I got the chicken joy.
You didn't get the corned beef pandesal? That is like
No.
the best.
Wait, are you saying there's a Jollibee corned beef pandesal?
Yes.
In
Yeah.
New York?
They have corned beef sandwiches.
In California, I don't know if it's in the US. They don't sell it here as much anymore, but when we used to go to the Giants game in San Francisco, that was our routine. Giants game, Jollibee, corned beef
I haven't seen
pandesal, go home.
You know what they
Oh
do
my
have
gosh.
here? What they do have here that's a bit under the radar is their Chicken Joy chicken sandwich
Yes, that's the bomb.
with garlic aioli sauce. It actually competes strong
I
against
love-
Chick-fil-A and
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
new dish. I think.
good.
Oh
Don't
man.
just settle for the spaghetti and the Chicken Joy. Once in a while, try that Chicken Joy sandwich. It's
Yeah, is that your favorite, DJ? Out of Jollibee, all the Jollibee menu.
I mean, once in a while, I'm still in the mood for Chicken Joy, but there are times like I'll have that chicken sandwich, yeah. And then
I also like the beef steak. Man.
Yeah, I was gonna say beef
Oh my
steak.
god.
Is that the
steak,
burger
right?
steak?
And that
You mean like the
mushroom
burger
sauce. That
That
mushroom
mushroom.
sauce.
Mushroom
Oh
gravy.
my god.
steak?
And then you know what I do? Because that so you get the one thing, right? Just the one piece, because this is the student life, because it's been a while since I went to the Philippines, or I was in the Philippines, and that's what I used to do. You know, you just get one and then get two rice, so you get an extra rice, and then ask for, excuse me, can I have some more sauce? At that time they only give it for free, so you get a bunch of these things because the flavor is so good. Oh my god. Right.
Oh, it is
then-
definitely.
And then they put a sign there, please do not use the gravy as sabaw or something.
So, for
Because,
those
you know, that's
who
what we
haven't
do,
been
right?
to the Philippines in a while, so Marlino hasn't been there in a while. Luella was the last time you were there.
Luella.
Okay.
No, what?
When was the last time you were in the Philippines? It's been a while.
Oh, just before the pandemic.
Okay,
That was
because if you
January.
notice, if you go to Jollibee or a KFC, they now have unlimited gravy. In fact, in the KFC, it's in a pitcher. It's in a hot pitcher.
Wow.
Yes.
You can pour yourself, self-serve, so you can literally just drown yourself in gravy with the rice. And I don't
And
know.
I think there are some, if I heard about that. I think there's some restaurants that have actually kind of like chained their thermos because people were
People
actually
might run away with it.
it has to be
You know what's fascinating is that I think we're the only Southeast Asian country that has our KFC, paired with gravy. Because if you go to any KFC in Singapore, Thailand, even maybe I don't know about Hong Kong, Singapore, Thailand, Indonesia, I've been there. They serve it with sweet chili sauce. You ask for gravy, they will
Oh.
like gravy. And then I point to the picture of the mashed potato with the gravy on top. He goes, "Oh, that's only for the mashed potato. We don't serve that with the chicken."
I know, but that's the best thing,
So I've learned to like
Yeah.
it with you. I've learned to like it with the sweet chili sauce, which is pretty good. So give it a try. Great KFC sauce. It's not bad.
No,
Yeah, man.
but that's definitely something I miss because the gravy of KFC here is nothing compared to the gravy in the Philippines.
Oh my, really? Oh my God. The gravy. The
I'm
gravy.
so hungry now.
I know. Right? Back to questions. Do you do competitive karaoke?
I mean, look at the setup right there.
I mean, it
Well,
doesn't start off as competitive, but it gets there.
Oh my god.
yes, that's true. That's true. That's the thing, because I don't go out as much, and when I do go out, and I do go out with when I see a lot of Filipinos, and that's exactly it. There's just karaoke there, so you go, oh, I don't know how to sing. I don't know how to sing. And you start singing, and then it becomes very, very competitive. I remember I just turned on my live on my Facebook and everything, and somebody went in, and I think I was like, wow, is this person trying to be competitive with singing? I'm just here having fun. So I just turned off my thing. Okay. And then she started singing like a Sharon Cuneta or something like that. I was like, yeah, whatever. I'm not here to compete. I am my own star. Yeah.
Are you ever with like family or friends who already know what number of their karaoke song is? So be like,
Oh,
please put in
yes.
46325.
Oh, yes.
It's often like
Not
the
only
silent
that, I
treatment.
have some family members that know the number and then they transpose the key. They know everything. Like, boom, that's
Oh
their
my
song.
God.
Magic Sing, right? Magic Sing.
Yes,
all-
yes.
it's-
Yeah, because I have Filipino neighbors here, so during Christmas time, man, both sides are like in karaoke, and my husband's like, oh my god, it's so loud, can they not hear it? And I mean, like, yeah, well, it's Christmas, but I'm so tempted to go there and it's my turn, but but I'm too shy in real life. What? No, just true.
But,
Too
but that's
shy.
the thing with karaoke stars, right? They're like the shyest people, or they're just gonna keep feigning that they're not. But we're very backhanded with these things, especially when it comes to throwing shade or just dominating people completely. And then that happens. There was a time where I was telling everybody, I'm a dancer, I'm not a singer. And then it was my friend's birthday. They put Shaggy, it wasn't me, on the karaoke. I break the high score. And we get five neighbor complaints. Typical Filipino birthday party, the thing.
It's so true.
I think those machines are rigged. I have cousins. They would sing so monotonous, like no fluctuation. It's just same tone, and they score 100. And it's like,
Wow.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
I think
It's rigged.
it's the beat. It's not your tone itself. It's when you start, and then it starts on that beat
Yep.
itself.
Mhm.
Where exactly.
you gotta be a Magic Sing karaoke expert to figure out just like getting in those right spaces.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
All right, one
Be able
last
to crack it.
question. Do you, at least for traditions, right? Do you listen to Jose Marie Chan during the holiday season? I do.
Oh.
We listen to Mariah Carey.
Oh yeah, I mean that's in all the malls for sure.
I mix him up with Michael
And
Bublé. So it's Michael
yes,
Bublé.
that's true. Michael Bublé and Michael Jackson and
Yes.
Madonna.
Right. Well,
There we go. And Mariah
staple,
Carey,
staple,
those.
staple.
Yeah,
Right.
See, I'm an
Yeah.
advocate
exactly.
for Filipino hip hop and R&B artists, so I look for the new holiday Christmas songs that they all put out, in addition to the traditional ones that you hear like on your local, conservative, alternative rock stations where you can hear jingle bells. So
That's awesome. Yeah. Sometimes we
Yeah.
don't listen to the most like Christmas songs ever, but we play some of our favorite artists anyway. Like during Christmas we get all nostalgic, and I grew up listening to South Border, so we always play South Border, R&B, that kind of stuff.
Aw.
Order.
I know.
nice.
That's what I
Yeah,
play.
yeah. Who are Oh yeah, whenever I am nostalgic to, Filipino music, my go-to would be Eraserheads. Oh,
Oh yeah.
and yes, Enrico Blanco, River Maya, that would be like, wow. Those are my songs, man. It's just
I feel like we're all the same generation
electromagnetic
now.
pop. Yes.
Yes, that's a classic.
That's a
Eraserhead,
classic
South
one.
Border.
Yeah,
Ooh, yeah, love listening to
that's
that.
true. And sometimes when I'm all, I want to be a diva, there's Regine Velasquez, man.
Yep. That's
Regine
high school for me.
Velasquez. We look alike, and to be honest with you, I have the same voice. I just don't look it. I'm just too shy, Yeah.
She's intimidating us for when we eventually come to have a karaoke battle, so be prepared.
I know. See, that's like playing it down, and then when she actually sings, we might actually ask you to sing at the end of this favorite Christmas song.
Doing my bluff, man.
No, it's cool. It's just cool to hang out with people here and know how they have adjusted to their new homes, how everything is still the same. I like the makeup tips. I love discussions about food. But let's move on to Christmas, right? I'll start off with Rose's video on how is Christmas celebrated where you live, but I'd really like to know, like, how do you and your family celebrate Christmas? Here we go. Let's try Rose first. And of course, it's going to be a little bit delayed as I'm trying to
Oh my
figure things
goodness,
out here.
it's
Hang on.
So, maligayang Pasko, everybody. In the meantime,
oh my goodness, it's out of this world. Oh, I can't imagine that Christmas would be so nice in the outside, but sad in the inside. If you spend Christmas outside, it's so beautiful, it's so fun, it's so vibrant, it's the best. But once you return in your nest, that's where sadness or sentimentality kicks in, because you will miss your family in the Philippines. And nothing beats Christmas in the Philippines because you're surrounded by your family, your friends, the people that, oh my goodness,
Oh, there you are. That's Rosa Clarinel from London. TJ, how do you spend Christmas? You've been here a few years now. How do you spend Christmas?
We still try to do it the way we do it back home, in terms of having Noche Buena at midnight. Literally, this is something that I learned with my in-laws, that when we got married, I'm like, oh, you don't eat till midnight, man. You get hungry throughout the night. So that's their thing. They'll have their mass first, and then only at the stroke of midnight, that's when you can eat. So I've learned my lesson back home. I usually eat a heavy merienda before I go to my wife's Lola's house. But here we do the same thing. So we'll prepare a massive feast with my mother-in-law and my wife, and sometimes a friend came over. couple of years back, and then we'll only touch it at midnight because that's the thing. So that's still the Pinoy thing for Christmas for us. And then, nowadays you just FaceTime everybody. So that's been our tradition back then also. At midnight, you call your parents, you call your cousin, whoever's not there physically. So that's been our thing as well. So we've been able to continue that somehow here. And thankfully, some of the Filipino food is readily available. So yeah, that's our Christmas Noche Buena thing so far.
Connected with family still. That's so cool. Asia.
Yeah, so it's not, Christmas in the Philippines. If people don't know, we start celebrating. It's the longest Christmas, raucous, crazy, out of this world, just cheer forever long with all relatives. It's just crazy because we start celebrating at Christmas on September 1, okay? September 1, and then we don't stop celebrating. We do not stop celebrating Christmas until it's Three Kings. And then probably a week after that, like a soft, all right, yeah, belated Merry Christmas. So people, the whole world should know about that. That's just crazy how we do it in the Philippines. So if we go outside the country, it's a bit more subtle. Right? It's a bit more subtle. And how we celebrate it here in New Zealand, that's the thing, because I've celebrated it in Europe, and everyone's, there's snow and everyone's just really cold and everything. And here in Auckland, it's full-blown summer during Christmas. So everyone's in a bikini, and you go out, and that's when you go places here. You do tours all over the place because it's like a 6-week holiday. So everyone's busy just doing, going to the beach or going to Queenstown or Wanaka or doing some hikes here, there, everywhere. So everything is booked. And that's what we do. So we go to, it's New Zealand. So in New Zealand is nature in steroids. So everywhere you go, it's just boom, 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 boom. It's just lots of impression. That's why Lord of the Rings was done here. And because we are, essentially still foreigners, even if we've been here for like 10 years. So we go to these places, we do the hikes here. We go to Wanaka, and Wanaka has this beautiful, beautiful mountain range called the Remarkables. And then there's like the luge there, and then we do we eat outside, and it's quite simple. Yeah, see, it's quite simple because we just go eat outside, and we don't. Yes, there's a bit of stuffing. It's a Christmas thing. It's a normal thing that we do, that we just stuff ourselves with food, and that's the thing, because in the Philippines you might as well just have this big hose and put it in the refrigerator and just suck everything from there, because that's Christmas for us, right? But so here, you just very simple in terms of there would be cake, there would be this, there would be that, but it's not too much stuffing going on. So there you go. But there's still hanging stockings and things like that. So
It's super cool to know that it's summer during your
Yeah.
and when you say 6 weeks holiday, does that mean you guys have no work during those 6 weeks?
well, a lot of
I'd love to go to New Zealand right now. That's
some places, yes, there is no sort of work. So yes,
Super
that's right. So but
interesting.
because it's quite chilled here, it's quite relaxed here, it's an island, which I love. That's why I love it here, because it's both islands. And apparently there is this thing with like the island mentality, and because in Europe it's always different. It's just very different.
Hmm.
Your
Yeah, yeah.
proximity to the country, from the country where you're from, to then that you would harbor a lot of similarities. So there you go.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for sharing. Marlino?
Our Christmas is pretty, I'd say, I don't say non-traditional, but we're very not Filipino for Christmas. It's pretty much like, I don't know what changed, to be honest. I mean, like, I think even growing up, we never really had a quote unquote like a Filipino type Christmas. It was always
Mhm.
put your Christmas tree up, go to church. And that was kind of it. And then like when I got married, same thing. Like the winter times are usually like special to us. Like we put up our tree like literally like November, right? I know some people put it up in September. Like I wanted to do it in September, but the wife vetoed that, so it came up in November and said it was a compromise. But like if it were us, like the Christmas tree would be up for like 6 months out of the year, Christmas music playing 6 months out of the year. And then
Yes.
then I think having kids too changes it a little bit, because then now they get more excited, they want to see more lights, they want to see more things, and so as far as Christmas goes, I think we celebrate it very loosely. We don't really have like a dinner. If we do, it's like with all the family, not just us. We don't have a Noche Buena, which I'm sad to say we don't have that. But when we get to the next questions about the tradition, like I can kind of share what I'm trying to do with the kids and things like that. So, but yeah, we're kind of boring.
No, but sometimes boring is good because sometimes you also just want to relax. And I think in the busyness of the entire year, it's only like that 1 week during Christmas and New Year where you kind of dial down and relax. So, sometimes just being chill at home, with your family is just the way to go. That's totally fine. Isabel?
My family, all right. So we kind of created our own tradition here. When we got here, we started hosting Christmases, like themed party Christmases. So I'm actually gonna share a tab here. I'm gonna show you a little bit of what those look like. So this one, oh no, that's gone. Do you see it? There. That is beach party during Christmas. It was cold out, but we were like, no, we miss the beach. We're going to do a beach themed thing. So that's one. And then we have also, oh my gosh, it's just different every year. This one, okay. We're going to wait till that's open. There. We got 70s themed.
Nice. That's super fun.
Out.
Yeah. And then last one, I'll show you. We were like running out of ideas. And so we came up with...
I'm flying to Toronto for Isabel's parties.
This one, this is our Mad Hatter themed party. But yeah, and so Noche Buena here in Canada, it's not really a thing. We're the noisy ones at night. Yeah. At 12, it's a thing of like no one can eat until 12 midnight.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. And it's great when you bring friends over who are not Filipino. They're like, what? And then they're like falling asleep as we're eating. So that's very fun to see. Also, not only that, but like the amount of food that we start eating at 12 midnight, and they're like, I'm gonna sleep. Can I sleep in your room? So yeah, while we're partying downstairs. So that's what we did.
Oh my
We
gosh.
started
It's
here,
like it's like prepare yourself for an apocalypse or something, just
Yes, exactly. Like tomorrow's never gonna come. Yeah.
yes.
Our families got it down to a T, like where they're preparing all day and not eating while they're preparing for Noche Buena, right? Like you don't eat. That's when you wrap the gifts, say hello to people, prep for the food, set the table up, and then by around 10 o'clock, I remember in the Philippines, by around 10 o'clock when you actually have to go to mass, 10:30 to 11:30.
Yep.
That's when you're like super hungry and you can't wait to get home just to start eating, so that when that clock strikes midnight, right? Noche Buena time, you start just like gulping everything down, right? So that's how you do it, so that you get the whole calories of the day in one sitting.
Yes. That also is very fun. I have my friends over, they're there, and then I'm like, okay, great, make yourselves at home. We're gonna leave and go to church. We'll be back in like 2 hours. All right, bye-bye. And they're like, what?
Oh, that's cool that your friends actually join you for midnight Noche Buena.
Oh well, some of them. Have they gone back? No, they have not. But I find new victims every year. So
It's funny.
It's it's funny about what Marlena's saying about traditions too. Like I remember, oh gosh, like growing up, we used to have just like Isabel's yours. We had a big reunion of family, and then sometimes it'll be themed too, right? And then the nice
Yeah.
thing is that our family has this Christmas palaro, where they
Oh
have the
yeah.
kids actually play games and have a chance to earn their, like their Christmas. Oh my God, Kim Kim. So
Yes,
they
that's
call it,
right.
right?
yes,
You get 10 pesos for every game. So you would have like the palayok there. And this is gonna be from midnight until morning, right?
Oh
You've got the
yeah.
palayok with the candy. You've got, the first one to drink all the coke from the supot. We've got that. You've got the egg and the talong game, where you you
Yes.
actually
Trip
tie
to
eggplant.
Jerusalem.
Oh my gosh,
Trip
yeah.
to like the musical, yeah, trip to Jerusalem. That's musical chairs, right? Same
Paper
thing.
Yeah,
dance.
yeah.
Yes. Paper
Yeah, yeah,
dance.
yeah. I
You
knew
are
that
jogging
growing
my
up.
memory because I remember Christmases that my dad will like just put on a song and we'll go like, go dance, dance. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yes.
We just
Just
have
dance.
to dance.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Why?
And then you get money after that, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, do you throw do you throw coins and then everyone just
Picks it up.
right?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Because
It's
that's
like Hunger
lucky.
Games. We're like,
Yes, that's
Have you
lucky.
tried
That's
that?
lucky, right?
Have you tried the Saran ball game?
The what?
What?
Oh, okay. I'm gonna put you guys on. So you get Saran wrap as long as you can get it, right? And you put money like maybe every other roll. And so you play a game, it's like a dice game. And then once
Yeah.
it says the number of whatever dice comes, you pass it turns into a Saran wrap ball, basically, that has like money and candy and all this stuff in it. So if it's
Yes.
your turn, then you have to unwrap it until I think there's like a timer or something like that. Then you have to pass it on. But it's pretty
Oh,
cool.
we
I
have
think
that, but we have that, but that's not plastic. Paper, newspaper. We
try
have
it with
that
Oh,
Saran
you
wrap.
got that
paper,
thing
like,
too.
yes,
Okay.
that's
And
right.
what's it called over in New Zealand? What's it called, Asia? Your paper game.
Oh no! It's just a very Filipino thing. Oh no! It's called pass the parcel. It's pass the parcel, so the parcel gets to
Nice.
you, and then you unwrap it, and then whatever is inside it, that's yours. So there you go. Until
Oh.
somebody gets the main prize.
Have you ever played the Jack and Poi Battle Royale?
No, tell us about it.
No, I'm not sure if this is a Filipino thing, but it started a few years ago with the Christmas parties where there's like 20, 30 people, and one of the lolas comes out with a wad of cash, like 50 peso bills, and everybody gets one bill. Then you have to find a partner to play Jack and Poi against. It's just a round of one. And if I'm paper and one is scissors, the scissors beats me, he gets my 50 pesos, and then you move on to the next one. So you're like, if there's 50 people, it's like if there's 40 people, you're down to 20 right away. And then after the 20, you're down to 10. And after 10, and then until you're down to one, and the last person has all the cash.
Oh,
That's some
my
Squid Game
gosh.
levels of Filipino battle royale. Yeah.
So it's the death match of the Jack and Poi until you get to the last one.
Wow.
That's a new game that we're adding to our palaro.
Death
That's
match.
certainly
You gotta.
that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
And one person gets $50 future at
Only
the
one
end. That
person
is
takes home the cash. There's no second place and a runner up. Just one person goes home.
Oh my
Just be very
God.
careful because you don't know what some people will do to get $50. So you might have family drama after.
Yes. Or like, that's true. That's
Yeah.
so true.
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember that you put a coin here and then
Oh
you
yeah.
kinda
Yeah,
yeah.
You just
So
either that with a
we
coin
do
or
that
with the
too during
cookie.
Christmas time.
Exactly. Yeah,
Right.
that's another one. Oh my gosh. That's
Uh,
funny. I didn't even realize that a lot of games and palaros are part of Filipinos Christmas. That is super cool. And
Yeah.
it resonates.
We
with
were
me
the
with-
original Squid Games, pretty much.
Yes, man.
Except
That's
ours
where you
was
get
with
to see
the
your cousins like
Yeah.
And
Our-
you
our-
Like,
you get palod instead, maybe.
Or we
Oh,
take the plastic floor cover and we turn it upside down, so you get, it's the spikes on that cover. That's
Oh
what you get. Patay.
that's brutal, man. And I thought the clothes hangers were enough.
or like after on the 25th in the morning, you should really wake up the earliest, because you have the advantage of checking out whatever gift they have in stockings, and you can kind of make coupet from the other. That's what my sister used to do. Like, oh, this is my stocking, so I like that one, and then you kind of
And
put
then
some
switch
on
it
your
around.
stocking. Like,
Asia, I'll give you a tip, though.
I wonder what's in my stocking.
I'll give you a tip though. You don't have to wake up early if you don't sleep at all. Remember, the party starts at midnight. Okay, so this is the thing about Christmas. Who can outlast everyone the longest? Well, everyone's asleep. I'm there watching the sunrise. I probably pass out after, but still, I consider myself a victor because I outlasted everyone.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
That's-
That's
That's
true.
pro
That's
tip.
true.
Don't sleep at
Yeah.
all.
Yep, that would be me
Celebrate
too.
it.
It's like 11:59. Look, everyone's sleeping. Oh well, I guess it's just all me tonight then. It's like that New Year's, same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we're down to our last question, but like it resonated with me well when Marlena said, "Hey, there's some traditions now that I have a kid that I really want to like have in my family, have in my home, and being away, that's sort of like one way for us to still cling on, right, to Filipinas, right, some of those traditions." So I want to hear from everybody. What are those Filipino Christmas traditions that you continue to practice and that you hope to pass on to the future generations for your kids?
I'll start.
Yeah.
So for me, it's really the parole, I think, is what I want to bring to the kids, because my kids are pretty creative. Like they like to build things and stuff. But I literally just not too long ago, like this week, I bought all the whatchamacallit, the parts that I need to create the parole. So we have 5 kids in our family. So like I bought one
Way
for
to
each
go.
kid. I know it's crazy. I don't advise you to do it. So
That's
but
a
yeah,
full
I think
Christmas party.
it's a full Christmas party, and it's also a broke one as well. But I have the bamboo sticks, I have the cellophane paper, things like that. So they've never seen it before, and so that's kind of the one thing I'm hoping to instill and bring that as at least the Filipino tradition part of it, because like I said, our celebrations is pretty straightforward. So adding some of this culture to it, I think is gonna, at least I can pass that on to them.
That's nice. Thanks for sharing, Marleno. Isabel.
I mean, that themed Christmas, I'm gonna keep that going for as long as I can. I'm gonna run out of ideas, but that's when the real spark. One day it will be Squid Games. And hey,
I was just gonna say, is it gonna be Squid Games this Christmas?
maybe I'm gonna pitch it.
Hashtag pusit game.
Yes.
The opposite game.
Pusit game. Well, and then in the theme of like food for Christmas, which we did do before, we had like a Christmas breakfast, so everything was Filipino breakfast. That was on our table. Longganisa, tapa, daing na isda, like suka and bagong. All of that was like Christmas. So I guess with
Yes.
your Christmas party Squid Game, it'll all be pusit.
Just all squid. But that
Right.
actually reminds me that for breakfast the next day, it's always leftovers, but we kind of like make it breakfast food. So like if there's ham, Christmas ham, we like fry it up and make it into fried rice and stuff. So it's,
Yep.
Yes.
that's
That's
legit.
what I love. You
Just
see,
like
that's
what
what I
Jokoy
love
said.
about Filipino food, Filipinos, the leftovers. We underestimate the joy of eating leftovers during breakfast time, because
Oh.
some people, some culture cannot handle that in their stomach. We just eat everything, and I love that because
Yeah.
you can eat sinigang for breakfast or adobo or anything, as long as it's leftovers. And I really genuinely miss that because I want to eat kare-kare for breakfast, and yeah, sure, why not? You know what I mean? It's
Just
Kare
add egg.
kare,
some
kare
cultures
kare
can't handle it.
omelet, right? Like you
Yeah.
just mix it into egg, make it kare
Anything,
kare
yes.
omelet.
That's why put it there. It's all gonna mix anyway in your stomach. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. We have a comment in the audience over here just saying you just have to add egg to anything and it's breakfast.
Yep.
That's
That's
right.
true.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's like exactly what Joe
Exactly.
Coy said. He said, Filipino breakfast is pretty much leftovers with an egg. That's pretty much it.
Exactly.
That's it.
Spot on.
Back home,
That's
anything,
so
anything
true.
on the menu that says special, it's because there's an egg. So if you ask
Yes.
me, bakit special tong mami? Sir, kasi may egg. Bakit special tong ensaymada? Sir, kasi may salted egg. So anything
Yes.
special because there's an added egg, whether it's the regular kind of egg or the salted egg. So
Yes.
That
Yes.
is
But the
true.
thing is, eggs are special. They add value. That if they're
Yes.
done well, if you get the yolk just right, that's what makes it special.
totally agree. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's so funny.
Yes.
TJ, what's a special tradition? Then I'm gonna start to put in itlog in everything that I cook to make it special. But anyways, TJ, what
I
is
think
the special
just,
tradition?
I'd hope that they want to keep the making it a big gathering as much as possible, have as many family members as possible along for the ride, and yeah, why not keep it to the midnight. Keep the tradition of having that big meal at the stroke of midnight after you say your prayers and you understand and remember the reason for the season, and then from then on it's just all love, family love. Keep it going.
Oh,
Speaking of family love, the thing that I want to instill with my boy, because I have half Dutch, half Filipino boy, and he's Kiwi, he's New Zealander, but he's very, very New Zealander. But that's the thing, because we're here. So after the Noche Buena and then after all the gifts, I, for one, want to instill in him seriously the usage of the tabo, because the tabo is very important, especially when you made yourself so much empacho during the eating time in the Noche Buena. So use your tabo to make ilo your puwet. Otherwise, everything there is going to get stuck, and tissue paper is really, really expensive nowadays because of COVID. So you have to use the tabo there.
but the one of the comments is right here. It's a very special tabo. What that you have? It's a very
Yes.
social tabo. It has a measuring thing too on there.
Yes, that's right. I mean, it depends on how dume your
Wow.
the area that you're trying to clean. You know what I'm
It's got
saying?
measurements and a different color handle. That's when you have optimum grip.
That's right. You see that? You just go get it from there, and you make sure that everything is clean.
Wait, that's thumbs up. Who has tabo in their house?
I
I
have
have
three.
I have a bidet. We have bidets installed in all our toilets, so
Ah.
that counts. We
Oh,
want
so strong.
it's unlimited. It's unlimited water. Parang
Yeah.
It's
Well,
so strong.
in this household, yes, we do have the Korean bidet. The one that just shoots.
Oh,
You've got the different
Yes.
yeah, that's
buttons on the side for
That's
air and
right.
water.
That's
one
right.
too. Yeah.
But tabo is still life. You
Yes,
have to
tabo
have
is life.
So,
And I have to say, if I have a bidet in my toilet, I might not leave my toilet.
For those people who don't know what a bidet is in the Philippines, it's known as a bidet.
What? Bitik? I didn't know
Bidet.
that.
I grew up calling it a bidet. Very
Bidet.
Filipino.
Bidet.
We call it a
Hi,
bidet.
bidet.
Yes.
no, wait, Filipino pronunciation, right? Nothing is silent.
Absolutely nothing is silent. Yes.
No.
Paolo, I want to ask you, what do you want to instill to in traditions? I think we haven't heard from you yet on that one.
Okay. I have a lot of traditions I want to pass on, but they don't really have to be the most Filipino traditions. I think if anything, of course, respect your elders, learn how to mano, at least learn how to understand Tagalog, or how to address how to address different kinds of people. But more than anything, it's those inherent Filipino values of being kind to one another, opening up your house to people, always being there, and just never eating alone. Actually, I feel that eating alone is very lonely. As Filipinos, we cannot eat until we're together. So it's always seek out people to enjoy with, because being around people makes the experience always better.
Oh,
Oh, that's
you
so
you kind of hit the nail in the head there. Like in our family as well. I'm first generation immigrant, right? So I came here by myself, and I told my husband I want a big family because that's the thing, right? During Christmas, I want to be like Marlino's family, where with just 5 kids, it's already a party. That's
yes.
what I want, like big family coming
And chaos
together.
at the same time.
Oh yeah, but you know what? A big family or not, it's always going to be quality over quantity at the end of the
Yeah.
day. So
Yeah.
sometimes you don't have to have everybody in one place. As long as you can enjoy each other's company, and at the same time keep the drama to a minimum, because that's a really big thing.
I don't know, we're Filipinos, man.
That
There's
people
gonna be drama anyway. And the least you can have is good food to eat over, right?
Yeah, you always resolve things over food too after that.
Yes,
So,
that's true.
kain na, that
Yes,
everything's good.
that's
Oh,
true.
well, thank you. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate hearing from you. That's actually what reminded me today in this discussion are the fun things that we used to do as children at home, like the palaro, all of that. And you know what I realized, like coming away from here, like those are all some of the things that I'm hoping to pass on to my children, just the fun of being with family here, right? And that usually is what's highlighted at Christmas. And I think that's the reason why we love spending the holidays. And I appreciate everybody sharing their holiday stories. This has certainly made for a good night for me. Thank you, Marlino Bitanga, Asia Agawili, Isabel Canaan, TJ Manotok, and my host
Thank
Paolo
you.
Benitez.
Thank you
I
for
know
having
it's not yet quite Christmas, but I hope you have maligayang Pasko and manigong bagong taon. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you,
Thank you
everybody.
very
Thank
much.
you. Merry
Thank
Christmas,
you. Merry
everybody.
Christmas.
Merry
Really.
Christmas.
Us.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Love, love, love.
Bye.